This is a Zoom. This is a Zoom meeting. Do we have a quorum? Oh, I see Marie. Hi, Marie.
Hi.
And I heard Nancy. So
Yeah,
I know Nancy.
my dulcet tones.
Do we have anybody else? Dottie?
No. Steve from Steve's Comics is here.
Okay, good.
And
good.
someone named Rich Dooley.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the sign guy.
Yeah.
Hello,
Okay.
hi.
How you
Oh,
doing?
okay.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Bill, I was going to make you host. Did you need anything before I left?
Would you mind making Dottie host? She's much more savvy with technology than I am. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'll make Dottie host and you co-host just in case anything were to happen.
Okay, good. Thank you, Josh, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we don't have a quorum yet, so we'll have to wait just a bit. We're waiting for
Nick,
Jim Kirkcaldy and Nick, right?
yeah,
And we did learn today from Jim that he thought he could make the meeting, so
oh, good.
let's keep our fingers crossed. Otherwise, we will have to call Judith,
Yeah.
who is willing to
Talk
join.
to us.
Yes, to talk to us. So we'll wait just. How did we connect with Judith last time? I think I called her, didn't I?
I
I
think
think
so,
that-
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how we did it last time. I just called her on my phone. Or would it be better if you called her on your phone, Dottie?
Probably yours because I'm writing and
Oh, okay, okay. I'll do that. It's I can do that. So Jim is we're waiting for Jim and Nick, right? Well, let me go ahead and call Judith.
Okay, while you're doing that, I wanted to say, welcome Steve to downtown.
Yeah.
Thrilled to have that space filled.
Thank you. We're
Are you-
excited.
Yeah,
You
very
guys live in
excited. Thank you.
Bridgewater?
What
I'm
was
from
that,
Bridgewater.
Dottie? Oh, okay.
That's
From Bridgewater.
fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
we're really excited. We're looking forward to it. We can't wait for the grand opening.
Yeah.
When
And
is
what
that
else is
going to
gonna-
be, you think?
April 1st.
Oh, very
wow.
good. That's
Yes.
That's a Saturday.
Yep.
Yep.
Next Saturday.
Next
got it.
Saturday. Yep.
So do you have a lot of old comics and?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all
Tons.
comics.
We have a lot of old school arcade games. You guys have got to come in. We
Oh.
have like Frogger and the old Donkey Kong and
Yeah.
Asteroids.
Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
Are you,
yes, for throwing my kids' things away when they didn't play with them anymore, huh?
I know,
Yeah, yeah.
donate them to Steve.
Yeah,
Is it
Exactly.
old and new or is it mostly vintage?
It's a lot of vintage stuff. Yeah, a lot of vintage stuff. Some newer stuff also, but
Yeah.
a lot of vintage stuff. We have right now we're looking into getting
Dude.
newer comics and stuff, but as of
Yeah.
right now, we have a
Thought
lot
we
of
had
back issues.
quorum, but we're
Okay.
missing Nick and Jim, so we need you if you would be so patient with us.
Okay.
Can you, I'm going to be talking, holding the phone and trying to conduct the meeting. So if you need clarification on anything, just let me know.
Hi,
Thank you.
Kitty.
Nancy says hello. Okay, the first item on the agenda is, well, let's get a roll call vote, a roll call first of members present, just to be official. Dottie, if you could do that.
Bill,
Yes, here.
Marie,
Yes,
Nancy,
Yes,
Judith,
She heard that and responded yes, so we
Thank
have a
you.
quorum. Thank you. So the first item that we want to take up is the application for certificate of appropriateness for Steve's Comics and Collectibles, which is moving into the space that was occupied previously by my sister and I, and then by a rug shop, I think, that was there for a short time.
It was called Rug Shack. Yeah, Rug Shack.
Rug Shack, yes, that's it. And this afternoon, Steve's sign designer submitted some new drawings of the signage. And I guess, is there any way that we can see that? I looked at them this afternoon, late or early evening, actually. Did anybody else take a look at those designs? They did come in rather late.
I did.
Okay.
I
if-
saw them, but I thought they were the same thing, but I can look at them right now on my phone.
It's just,
Okay.
it's just a difference in print.
Oh,
Yes, yes. So I talked to Steve earlier in the week, and the designs that we submitted earlier were not appropriate for an historic district. So I talked to his staff and then also emailed the sign designer. It's unfortunate that above the windows, there is not room for a conventional sign. There are air conditioning units and some
Yeah.
kind of air filter or exchange unit that's up there. So there's no way that they could put a sign above the window. So they've designed a small sign above the door,
mhm.
and I thought that it would be maybe a good idea if they also had a sign on the window, maybe saying Steve's Collectibles, since the other sign is so small. And so we have this design. The sign over the door is white with black lettering. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. It's
Nancy,
square.
you're looking
Yeah.
at that. So could
I am.
you,
I'm looking
Yeah.
at it.
could you, and Marie, do you see that too?
I do.
Yeah, okay. Any comments on that sign above the door?
No problem, except that I personally, I think I would edge it in dark red, something.
Thank
Make
you. Yes.
What would you?
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah. We wanted to have color on it. We were told.
You
we really
want to pop it. You want to make it pop.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a dark red would be very acceptable color for the historic district. Not an
Yep.
orange red, but I just think it's gray. It really needs something up there. And I like the
Okay.
black and white. I just think it needs a border.
You
We love-
always like borders.
I
What's
do,
black and white and red all over?
yeah, yeah.
What do you think about that, Marie?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay,
Because you want to
so,
make it pop. They want to be seen.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
okay, well, we can do that. We would ask your designer to come up with another design and to submit it. And we would approve it automatically. We wouldn't have to have another meeting or
Right.
anything.
Right.
So if he would want to edge it in some red or some color to make it pop, then he can submit that to me soon. And then I will circulate it with among the group. And at this point, we will approve it. What about the signs on the windows? We've never had before a
We never have.
listing like that. There are 3 windows there. It says Steve's Collectibles, Comics and Collectibles in the middle, and then we have a listing of various things on the left and then on the right window. We've never had that before, have we?
Well, so that's something that he threw together just for today. So I
Yeah.
might take that writing off. I just was more, I wanted to make sure I got the font and the color right and stuff like that. Because like that was something that was just changed. Like we were trying to get it in for this meeting today. That's
Yeah.
why it looked so basic, and that's why, because we were just worried that we weren't going to be able to have a sign up for our grand opening,
Yeah,
Right,
So-
right.
So our original
well-
idea, thought we were all right with that up until recently. So that's why we were just trying to hurry up. We want something in to get the approval to have an idea what you guys. were
Yeah,
looking
like a
for.
good understanding.
Yeah, because we were kind of blindsided by the whole thing. So
so if we,
Um,
I'm looking at the middle window, and if once again, if we could highlight it or band it with, I mean, it's white right now. If we could band it with another color, I think it would stand out a lot more.
Yeah, that's how we originally had it. Was I know that the colors were a little brighter, but we
Yeah.
originally had it with like the old school yellow and red
Yeah,
and white, like, you know, vintage, not like the vintage comic book appeal.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you
Um,
can't do that. You can't do that.
Right. So that's why
Right.
we want to, so we toned it down. And, you know, if we can add like a pop of red,
I would love
that would be
yeah,
great. We would love that.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
especially
Not the
concerned
zigzags.
about, it's very boring right now, and it doesn't have to be boring to be in the historic district, and I'm thinking that I'm asking the rest of the group if they would consider, I mean, it would still be white, but it would maybe, once again, put an edging around it, or a second color into it.
Mhm.
A
I'm trying to
block,
look-
not a zigzag.
A what?
A block, not a zigzag. A square.
No,
Not a
I
zig-
wasn't thinking that. I was thinking each letter would be white with a red edge.
I mean,
Mm.
previously, the sign looked like a bubble text.
Yeah, a
in a
cartoon.
comic,
Actually.
Which we would never approve.
Yep.
We've never had anything like that. And we could not.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're talking about the sign though. Right now, we're talking about the window lettering.
Yeah.
I
The
think that's what
window
she's
lettering,
referring- Yeah,
which I really think, I'm fine with the window lettering. I don't know about the one on either side, but the middle one needs to stand out. So it needs to have a second color added to it. And I don't mean a border, I mean, and I'm trying to look through the district and see if anybody else has, you know, letters on, I'm sure they have letters on their windows, don't they, Bill? Or is everybody on
Yes,
a
they do.
sign?
The barber
Yeah.
shop does, but those were professionally done. I mean, we don't really want letters just stuck on the windows.
No, but
Right.
this is
That
through the
needs-
same company that's doing my
If-
sign.
He's-
if-
Yeah,
Okay,
me-
well,
I
that's
could-
good.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
this isn't,
I could,
this isn't me doing it. Yeah, this is Sinorama doing it.
Yeah,
All right, what's the
So
name
it
of the
is,
barber
it is
shop?
professionally done. Yeah.
okay, good, because
Hi,
people.
hi,
who
Bill,
read that-
Bill,
Sorry.
can you hear me? I'm sorry, this is Rich Dooley with Sinorama.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
hi,
Here we go.
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
good, thank you.
I wholly agree. It's very boring, and that was somewhat of, you know, not an intent by any means, but we wanted to get to what exactly
Right.
you had prescribed in the documents provided by the Historic District Commission.
Right,
So it is, and we were told that we could also incorporate Benjamin Franklin historical colors
yes,
from
yes,
their palette.
Yep.
So what we would, I think, suggest, and Heather, you stop me, or Steve, stop me, but I think we're on the same track. We'll make a very heavy, not heavy, but thick border around the sign, and also
Okay.
around there's something to consider on the lettering. And again, this is off the cuff, so this is Heather, please, Steve, let me know if, you know, you
Yeah.
have some input. But I think the letters would look great if we do a red border, and I'm thinking like, you know, a dark, almost like brick color. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. that sounds good.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
won't see that color if we have a white over it. It'll blend into the glass and it will disappear. So instead, can we invert it and make it a brick color with a white stroke? That will
That's what the
pop
barber
quite a
shop
bit.
has. That's what the
Yeah.
barber shop has.
Yeah. That would
That's
be
Yeah.
good.
fine.
And it
I-
would still complement your sign.
Exactly.
Exactly. Use the
Yeah.
same color scheme.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
good, good.
And that's
I wanted
exactly
to
what the
add my
barber shop did.
professional comments.
Well, we need those. But now we need to talk about the sign on the
I'm
left
joking,
and the
thank
sign
you.
on the right.
Right.
We, Nancy, and Marie and Judith, I mean, we've never had a listing like that on the windows. So what does the committee feel about that? A listing of what the store sells and so forth and so on.
I'm uncomfortable with it.
Judith,
That's-
what was that? Okay, Judith is not in favor of the listing of on the right and left
Yeah, and
windows.
I'm uncomfortable with it also, and actually, I think the middle sign could be I know we just talked about it, but those letters can take up that whole middle, panel. And you probably could put your phone number underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Bor, and the rest of the group?
I agree
Um,
with that. I think that's a good idea. And then we would
So leave the
eliminate
two outside
the
windows
signs
and
on the right and the left.
Yeah,
leave the
We've
two.
never had anybody else put things in the windows before.
No, we never have. We never
No.
have allowed
Well,
that.
Rug Shack had all the windows were covered. I'm the one who cleaned it all off.
yeah,
All,
yeah.
every
Yeah,
one of the windows was done.
they
Yeah.
had illegal signs and they were in trouble for illegal
Right.
signs, trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
were
Yeah.
well,
facing
no, but I'm just saying, but
fines.
that's the way it was. And,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
also
they
But
were
I'm-
the real
facing
estate,
fines and everything else, so.
the real estate.
But I'm
agent has-
looking at the barber shop, and the barber shop put their phone number underneath their title. It
Yeah.
says Bridgewater Barber Shop Gentleman, or Gentleman's Barber, walk
Right.
in, welcome. And they put a phone number in there, so I'm wondering,
But they also have all their windows full up with lettering. You know what I mean? So it's not blank windows. Like if they had one
that's
window,
right.
not the other one, it would look strange. So that's what I'm saying. I think the buy, sell, trade in the left window it's 3 words. It's not, it doesn't take up the whole window, but it doesn't leave this blank space. Like that's what I'm kind of
Yeah.
worried. That the windows aren't really that nice either. Like they kind of, even with the things on it, they're older windows and they've seen a lot of weather.
Yeah, that building has seen a lot of weather.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason we,
Yeah.
If-
the
if I
reason
could
that we
also-
allowed the signs in the windows of the barber shop is because if we had allowed signage in one window, it would have been asymmetrical and strange looking. But because
Right.
you have 3 windows, then we would allow a sign in the middle, but not
Okay.
on the 2 sides. Is that what we're in agreement on?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I think
I-
we're there.
Could I make
however,
a sug-
Yeah.
Yep.
Nancy?
I'm gonna, however, there's nothing to prevent you from putting a display on the inside of your windows that faces out. So you might have, I don't know, whatever you're featuring that week.
Mhm.
Okay.
You
Okay.
could turn your feature around so people could see it from the street.
Okay.
It,
All right.
it just can't be illuminated with,
Like,
A neon LED or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right,
Nope.
right.
I think
But
Rich
you
was-
might find something, you might find an interesting poster to feature one week, or an assembly of games, that you might turn outside toward the sidewalk for a
Yeah.
month or whatever.
We're actually having local people that do their own comics, and
Oh.
we're gonna be selling some of their stuff, so they could actually put smaller stuff on the inside to let people know
Right.
that they're available in store.
Yeah.
We don't encourage you to paste it to the window, but you could put it up on easels or something so
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, okay.
as people even drive by, they could see something. Oh, there's something in the window.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
But I do encourage you to, I think, if the board thinks it's all right, that you could put your phone number underneath your, where are we? Underneath
Yeah.
your name and your
The-
original,
The center
Uh,
sign on the window, you mean?
right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Would we
I do
object?
also want to point out that illuminated signs, like illuminated open signs, flashing open signs, are strictly forbidden. They're not allowed in the historic district. We appreciate you're not installing those, because we would have to then have another hearing, get the building inspector over there and have those removed.
But he
You
could
can use
put up
an open
closed sign.
flag sign.
Yeah.
A lot of people have used the open flag sign.
Yeah.
So I guess that we'll await Mr. Dooley's revised design with the border and then also the revised sign in the middle. And if, are there any other concerns about the signage?
Bill,
Yeah,
could I say something? I know I'm
Yes.
not on the committee, but
please,
could-
please, we count
could
on you.
could he put the words buy, sell, trade at the top of the middle sign and then the phone on the bottom?
I was gonna suggest it goes, buy, sell, trade is longer than the phone number. I would put it at the bottom.
Okay,
But
so
I
they,
was just suggesting he might be able to incorporate it in the one window.
Oh,
and
I
then
agree.
you'll Have those words
Right.
to tell people what he will do, buy, sell, trade. It's kind of a
Yeah,
important to get that message out in the
How-
phone number.
I
is
would-
everybody in agreement with that?
I would like to see it on the bottom, however.
okay,
Okay,
that's fine.
on the bottom with the number, that would work.
The phone number.
Marie, are you okay with that?
Actually,
Sorry?
that would be better because, when people were driving by, they could see the name because it's on the top above the cars.
Yeah.
And then the other things, people walking by catch the phone number.
That's an excellent point. Rather than looking at all three windows, they would just look at one window and look at that spot and see the number and what it said. That's a good
Because when you're
point.
driving by, you only got them.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that
Okay,
sounds great.
Judith, so let's have a motion to approve the application for certificate of appropriateness for Steve's Comic and Collectibles with the emendations that we discussed in the meeting tonight.
I so move.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the application for the certificate of appropriateness for Steve's Comics and Collectibles. The design will be amended according to the conversation that we had tonight regarding the border, the central sign in the middle window, the phone number and the buy, sell, trade under that central sign. Okay, any discussion? Or anybody second that?
I second it.
Okay, Judith Gabriel has seconded the motion. Any just further discussion on the motion?
Are we going to have to see the setup before they put it up? Or are we gonna let it go with what we agreed to tonight?
Well, how long
So-
will it take you to get this to us, Mr. Dooley?
I will have this prepared tomorrow morning.
Okay,
Great.
well then,
Okay,
and then,
And I'll email it back. Dottie, I know your email has Bill and several other people on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
and we'll
Okay.
turn this around within an hour.
Okay,
Perfect.
very good. Thank you.
Great.
Okay,
If you don't mind, I
Thank
just want
you
to
so
make sure
much.
that we got, you're welcome.
yep.
I
And
wanted to-
welcome to the business district, the historic district in Bridgewater, and good luck. I hope you don't sell magic cards. Do you sell magic cards?
We do.
We do, yeah.
Oh, I'm not telling my son. He has like 5,000. He claims
Yeah.
some of them are worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Magic the
sure.
Gathering. We're actually gonna do Magic the Gathering nights for
Oh,
kids.
no, I'm not telling him. I'm not telling him.
It's gonna be a little bit down the line. We're setting up a room though for it and everything.
Yeah,
so-
we want
Yeah.
kids to put phones down and we want them to pick up books again. And we
Yeah.
want them to have a place to go to feel safe and have fun.
Yeah,
do you want,
Good.
do you want
Sounds,
me to tell you his
That's good.
name?
Yeah,
no, he has a new baby. He needs, he cannot participate and a
Yeah.
demanding job. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Okay,
so much, guys. I
Thank
think the
you.
real question is who's coming to the grand opening? I hope to see you all
I
there.
know, yeah.
Oh, April 1st
well,
is
we'll
right.
certainly check it out.
No,
Good.
I have a question. I have a question for you, Steve.
Yeah.
As a real estate broker, this is my question. I hope you have a good contract because that building is for sale. So I hope you have a good lease.
We do.
We do, yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
have,
do.
we have a really good lease, yeah. It's 3 year.
It can
Yeah.
roll over. If somebody else purchase it, they have to keep you.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, so we knew about that anyways. Yeah, I'm coming in, so, yeah, but thank you for the heads up.
I
it.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank
Great.
you, guys.
Okay.
So glad that you came.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
All right.
Welcome.
All right,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
good night.
Thank you.
Well,
Have
I'm
a good
glad
evening.
that, thank
You
you,
too.
Rich, thank you. Well, I'm glad that worked out. I think they'll have better signage now after all the input and the
Yeah.
give and take.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had some good ideas there, you folks did. The second item on the agenda is a discussion of a proposed new historic district in the Lake Nip area. About 2 weeks ago, I got an email from a young man by the name of James Walsh, who had gotten my email from Marilee Hunt. He is the nephew of Rodney Walsh, who all of us know, who was the fire chief in Bridgewater for so long. And he had alerted me to an ancient structure located in behind the Park and Ride lot, which actually has a which is actually a street. It's called Old Pleasant Street, believe it or not. That little parking lot has a street name. And about 15 feet from the back of the parking lot is a very ancient structure. It's a chamber or a vault. It's lined with fieldstone. It has steps going down to it. It has a solid slab top that's about
Yeah,
10 inches wide. The chamber itself measures, I don't know, about 10 feet high, about 10 or 12 feet deep, about 10 feet across. And then on top, it's covered with sod. So it's kind of looks as if it's been built into the hill. All of this came to a head because of the Claremont development phase. This is the last phase of their development that they're working on. And there are two lots there, lots 7 and 8. One is called the Tomb Road lot, and the one that's closer to the parking lot where the structure is located is called the Bassett site. I guess there was a family of Bassetts who had a house there in the 19th century.
That's an old name in Bridgewater.
It's an old name in Bridgewater. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Mass Historical Commission has been doing work down there for the last 3 or 4 years. And this Walsh fellow had access to a lot of the correspondence between Claremont and the Mass Historical Commission. And in one of the letters to Claremont, Mass Historic writes, Lot 6 and 7 include 2 significant archaeological sites included in the Massachusetts Historic Commission's inventory of historic and archaeological assets of the Commonwealth, the Tomb Road site and the Bassett site, that in the opinion of the MHC meet the criteria for eligibility for listing in the National Register of Historic Places. Well, they've done a tremendous amount of archaeological excavation down there. And they've learned that there was a Native American burial site deep in those woods there. That's probably why it's called the Tomb Road site. It was a tomb. The Wampanoags lived all around, of course, Lake Nip, because it was a great source of water, clean water and food and recreation and beauty and everything else. And so they would have buried their dead away from where they were living. And back in there are all kinds of interesting things, such as a stone grinding dish thing. It's about 2 feet high. It's about a couple feet across. And it was some kind of grinding vessel that the natives used.
Mhm.
But getting back to the to this tomb or chamber, I guess is what it is. People don't really know what it is. They don't know how old it is. They think it's ancient, pre-European. The Native Americans probably used it in some capacity. And then when the colonists came in and Bridgewater was founded in the 1600s, probably a colonial family used it for various things, shored it up a little bit, perhaps. There's some theories that this chamber was used to house bodies during the winter when the ground was frozen and they were unable to dig burial holes. So it probably was used maybe as a root cellar at one point, although some people don't think that's possible because there was no ventilation. At any rate, it's a significant, and as Mass Historic says, an ancient structure, maybe one of the oldest structures in all of Bridgewater, if not one of the oldest in Plymouth County. And I came up with the idea that in order to preserve it, to keep it from being demolished by Claremont, that we should turn this into a standalone historic district. So I've been working with Mass Historic Commission to determine how to go about this. And of course, we will be the commission that spearheads it, and we will be the study committee. The bylaw says that the existing Historic District Commission will be the study committee for any additional historic districts. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I did give a copy of the memorandum of agreement between Claremont and the Mass Historic to a couple of you today.
Mhm.
I didn't get your copy, Marie, but we can send one. I, for some reason, thought you were in Florida, so I.
I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina, how nice.
Yeah,
So
in the
that's,
Hilton Head. Yeah.
but we'll send you one electronically.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a very formal and legalistic document, and it really speaks to how serious Mass Historic is about these sites. These two areas, these two lots, from what I understand from looking at the engineering plans from Claremont, will not really be developed. They own a lot of acreage back in there. They
do.
hope to build some more apartments, some condos. They had a proposed assisted living and senior housing. I think the town council rejected senior housing because people felt that there were no facilities in the area for seniors. So I'm not sure exactly what is going to be built, but I know they're planning over 500 parking spaces. So according to what I understand, Claremont had proposed demolishing this structure and putting in 3 handicap parking spots. And I would like for us to try to save this structure. We don't have anything else like it in Bridgewater. We don't know everything about it archaeologically. We do know it's hundreds of years old. Certainly goes back to pre-colonial days. There are a lot of theories. A lot of amateur archaeologists have speculated some interesting theories, but nonetheless, it's very old. Nancy, did you get out to see it?
I did go to see it, and by the way, there's a tent inside the vault right now.
Oh, I know that. It's been used.
Yeah, and
as,
a lot of trash around, unfortunately, but if
Yeah,
if it became a historic site, people would go down and view it, and I think, it'd be more open to the public, and I think it would look a lot better too. But I just am amazed at it. I don't think it was a vegetable cellar. I agree with you. It's some kind of a vault of some.
Yeah.
But the stonework is humongous.
it is.
Talk to it is just amazing.
Yeah, and I just hope that we can save it. I mean, this will be a small historic district. It would just be
Yeah,
that structure and maybe, I don't know, 30 feet, on all four sides. I mean, we don't want a lot of excavation because it will cave in if there's a lot of
Right.
the landscape seems to rise a little bit
it
toward
does.
top of it. Isn't that right, Nancy?
Well, the vault is covered with growth on top, and then it drops down, and then the land, it's very awkward and hilly, and
Yeah.
it would, but my most amazing thing was the document you're reading, because it does not allow amateur people to go in and look for Indian relics. You're not allowed to go in and dig there,
Yes,
Well,
but,
that's a good,
but,
which would protect it even more if we made it a legitimate historic district.
but I was told by the director at Mass Historic that this document has no legal teeth. It
Right.
reads like a legal document, but Claremont can tear it up and do whatever they want to do with
Yeah.
it. If it were an historic district, they could not touch it.
Right.
And that's why I thought the best way to protect it would be to make it an historic district.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Yeah. No, I checked this out. I've gotten a lot of documents from Mass Historical about that and talked to them up there. The first thing we have to do is we have to do a preliminary study. And I would do most of the drafting of that because I have most of the documents along with this James Walsh who's provided just a ton of information. And then we would present it to the committee for your input, for revisions. It would be a working draft document. And well, I don't know. I'm talking to Eric Moore this week. He's very interested in this. He's the chair of the town council. So it would go to, after we do the preliminary study, it goes to Mass Historic for review and comment. Then after that, it goes to the planning board for review. Pat Driscoll knows about it. He and I've been in touch. We're going to discuss it further. He's been away. He's the chair of the planning board. Then it would, we of course would have to approve it and vote again.
Mhm.
And then it goes finally to the town council. They're the main vote. And there has to be a 2/3 majority vote by the town council for the district. Are there 7? Yes, we need 5. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to argue against this. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
Who would
yeah,
say
you're
no?
probably right. You're probably right. I mean, I can't see that this is interfering with the plans. Except 3 handicap parking spots. I mean, that's, and David Moore says that this is, and he's all in favor of this, by the way. He's very supportive. He's known about this and provided some good documentation as well. He thinks that this development project with Claremont is about 2 years out. But I'm afraid that in the process that this little vault or chamber could be demolished. So I'm going to talk to Eric Moore about some means of protecting it until we can get this into a district.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's an excellent idea, and I'm going to ask Eric Moore about that. Oh, we will. I left out one step. Sorry.
If that legal document you have is worth nothing.
Yeah.
You have to stop working in this area.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't give you all the documents that I have. I'm so bad with technology, it's embarrassing. I'm going to have to. Oh, well, I don't know what's wrong. This house that we live in has very poor Wi-Fi. And even though we have all these devices that push out the Wi-Fi to various parts of the house, these the various devices, it doesn't work very well. And that's why it took me forever to get on tonight. But Dottie, of course, is a genius when it comes to technology. And I
No,
will
I'm
get
Really
I will
not.
get James Walsh maybe to forward some of these things to you. I was so surprised, for example, to learn that some of the Native American burial sites that contain bones are going to be excavated, and then the bones are going to be transferred somehow to a Wampanoag cemetery somewhere. I think it's a sacrilege. That's what I thought, but that in these documents, in these various official letters going back and forth from Mass Historic and Claremont, Claremont is really in the driver's seat. We have a tremendous amount of authority if this becomes an historic district.
Right.
That's the only way to save it. Even if a motion to yes, and to launch the preliminary study report. Officially, all of you as members will be the preliminary study report committee. You'll be the committee. But I will try to do most of the work with this James Walsh, who's also very good with technology. And I mean, the Mass Historic had suggested that it be on the National Register of Historic Places, which is an even higher bar to meet because it's regulated by the Department of Interior in Washington, and it's really tough.
Oh, okay.
But properties can still be demolished and torn down even if they're on the National Register. So the historic district classification is much preferred because they could not demolish anything if it was an historic district without our permission. And I hope we would never give it. I don't know what the next group is going to be like on, but if they are really interested in historic preservation, they surely would not approve the demolition of this vault. I mean, it's
Well, I think we should go ahead and do it because that is, you're right. It's absolutely, it's history and too much history.
what was that, Marie? What was that, Marie? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I said, I think we should go ahead and do it because too much history is being destroyed. Did you
Right.
know that there had been an years ago, probably in the late 50s, early 60s, there was an early archaeological dig down on Beach Street. It's called Titicut.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they did the big dig down there. And actually along the Taunton River there, if you go down Vernon Street all the way over into Middleborough, there was they used to build ships down there and they'd sail them out to sea down the
Amazing.
river
didn't
out
know
the
that.
Fall River.
Wow.
I remember
That's
years ago.
no
going
idea.
that,
Yeah, we're-
Phyllis Keith
mean-
did the talk. I remember going to it and hearing her tell that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think I'm proudest of the fact that I live in Plymouth County. That's the first thing I say to people. Oh, I live in Plymouth County, Massachusetts.
So Bill, are you suggesting a motion?
Well, somebody needs to make a motion that, that we attempt to designate this chamber vault located off of the old Pleasant Street Park and Ride lot as a standalone historic district, and that we launch a preliminary study report to set everything in motion and to study the significance of the area and so forth.
I wrote something. Is this what you wanted to say? Motion to launch preliminary study report committee to study lot 7 and 8, Tomb Road and Bassett site.
Well, I think we ought to leave out lot 7 and 8 for the time
Okay.
being. I think we should just say to designate the vault chamber area as a standalone historic district, and to launch the
As
preliminary
a-
study for this endeavor or something like that.
Standalone historic district. A motion to launch a preliminary study report committee
Yep.
to
Mhm.
study the feasibility of protecting the tomb. No, the vault chamber area as a standalone historic district.
Well, no, the tomb chamber structure, let's say that, the tomb chamber structure
And surrounding,
Yeah.
in surrounding land.
and surrounding land. Yes, that's
Right.
important. That's very
Yeah.
important.
Can I
Now-
just say that, the Skim Mill Bridge on the West Bridgewater line just got approved as a historic site. However, the land was purchased. Unless the town is gonna purchase this site that we're talking about, then the only way that we really can save it is by making it a historic district.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's get that motion exactly right. If you bear with me a minute, I'll write it
Sure.
out.
Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna move the motion anyway.
What's that?
I said, I'll move it when you write
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, we have to, Judith has already
I'll
moved.
second her motion.
You can second it.
All three of us have said the same thing. We
motion,
all are in favor.
second.
No, it isn't.
So when you get that written, will you type it to me in an email or
Oh,
something?
Lord, I'll read it to you.
Okay,
I couldn't type it, I don't think, now.
no, I mean,
Email it.
Oh, later, yes.
all right, while you're doing that, I do have a message from Nick. He said he should be available for the meeting, but then he said, he did get the application, but he does have a conflict for tonight. I may be available after 8, but not sure. Sorry, I hope there's a quorum without me.
Tell them we have a quorum.
We do have. I said, we do have a quorum, however, we missed you.
Okay. Okay, here it is. This is it.
Okay,
A motion to launch a preliminary study committee to establish an historic district for the tomb, oh no, excuse me, for the vault chamber structure. Let's not say tomb, for the vault chamber structure located behind Old Summer Street Park and Ride lot in Bridgewater.
slow
No,
down.
it's not all summer, it's all pleasant.
It's not
Oh,
summer.
Pleasant, sorry. Oh,
Pleasant.
Old
District
Pleasant.
for the vault
Sorry,
chamber
Pleasant,
structure
yep.
located
Behind the Old Pleasant Street Park and Ride lot, Old Pleasant Street Park and Ride lot, period. The committee will draft the preliminary study of this standalone historic district. The committee will draft the preliminary study of this standalone historic district.
The committee will draft a study.
Yes, we'll draft the preliminary study of this standalone historic district. Also
This
to
stand
include surrounding,
historic. We'll draft a study. We'll draft a preliminary study of this
Wow.
standalone historic district.
of this standalone historic district to include surrounding to include adjacent
Land.
property,
Okay.
land or property, which would be
Yeah.
better.
I would say property.
Okay, property, I agree. Okay, do you want to read that back?
If you say land, you've got to do meets and bounds.
Yeah, okay.
All
Do
right.
you want to read that back? And then we'll go from there.
A motion to launch a preliminary study
Committee,
to establish an historic district for the vault chamber structure located behind the Old Pleasant Park and Ride lot. The committee will draft a preliminary study of this standalone historic district to include surrounding adjacent property.
good. How, is that okay with everybody? Does that sound decent?
That sounds. good.
Surrounding and adjacent, one or the other. Adjacent.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, we
strike
will.
the
do-
word
that will be in
surrounding.
That'll be in the
Yeah.
study. We have to have a map and everything else. We have to have dimensions for sure. And that will be a tough decision.
Yeah, you will, because you know, you've got to
I
decide.
wish we could include
Big is
all
the
lot
area.
6 and 7.
You've got to figure out how big of an area you need to, that's what
Right.
they're going to ask.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Marie seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Dottie,
Bill,
yes?
Nancy,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes,
Judith?
So that's unanimous. Thank you for your support. It is going to be a lot of work. Well, I left out there has to be a public hearing also.
Mhm.
That little thing, but that'll be us fending questions
Yeah.
about it. And I think we'll get a lot of support.
I think it will be, it's gonna generate interest also.
I think so too. I think it will.
Positive interest.
Yeah, there will be some of both, but I think there'll be more positive. I mean, everybody I've mentioned this to kind of on the side has been very enthusiastic. Dottie, what else is on the agenda?
Okay, that approval of meeting minutes.
Oh, yes.
I sent out two other meetings.
Could you go through those? I can't access those at the moment for us, just the dates and so forth.
Let me get to my folder here on my computer. Okay.
I don't even know how to do folders. That's how bad I am.
All right, minutes for approval.
Need a secretary.
The
And then when I
minutes,
have my
one
son
of the,
home, he just complains that I don't know anything.
one of the minutes was for the December 6th,
Really embarrassing.
2022.
Okay,
Let me see.
so we have minutes for, what's the date again?
December 6th, 22.
Yep, December 6th,
And that-
2022.
That was the, let me see. The Mexican restaurant, the Fiestas.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep. Any discussion of the minutes? I looked at them this afternoon. I thought they were fine. A
Okay.
motion to approve?
That motion.
A motion to approve the minutes of December 6, 2022. A second?
I'll second it.
Second. Nancy, roll call vote, Dottie,
Marie,
Yes,
Nancy,
Yes,
Bill,
yes.
Judith.
Yes, she says yes. Judith says yes.
Okay, unanimous. All right, and what other is the?
while she's looking, I think this site is not too far from the Nakatusset Greenway Trail, you know, that, the walking trail that goes through the Bridgewaters.
Uh-huh.
This vault may not be too far. I can't find the beginning of the site because there's a map in the way here. But
Yeah.
it might become a site on the Greenway Trail.
Yeah.
In the future.
There was some discussion, again, in the correspondence going back and forth between Claremont and Mass Historic. Some discussion of Claremont putting the wetland portion of those two lots in a land trust.
Yeah, because it's,
Which-
there
which-
is definitely wetland down there, for sure.
Because they can't build on those, on the
Right.
wetlands, and they
Right.
would get a tax advantage. They have lawyers working on this. I mean, Claremont has a whole host of lawyers who
Yeah.
are answering these letters. And of course, the Environmental Protection Agency's involved. Big
Yeah.
time, big time.
oh yeah, you bet.
Because they're concerned about all the runoff
Right.
from that huge parking lot and how that
Oh,
will
yeah.
affect, how that will affect streams that
And the-
feed
and the
into
Nip.
Lake
And
Nip.
the nip, yeah.
And so, and of course, I'm sure there's a lot of wildlife there,
Mm,
but I mean, clearly the fact that they are ancient, as Mass Historic says, ancient archaeological sites is what I'm really interested in, trying to preserve. You would think that the Mass Historical Commission would have more authority, that they could stop these things, but it has to be done
Right.
at local levels, believe it or not.
So you haven't talked to Kitty Doherty about this, have you?
No, I
She-
haven't.
You should just drop her a line and mention what we're working on,
Yeah.
because
Um,
she was very involved in the skim milk bridge thing, or at least in the beginning.
yeah, that's the West Bridgewater place.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was right on the Bridgewater line.
yeah,
down on
yeah.
Elm.
Yeah, on Elm Street, right there at the
But they
bridge. yeah.
just became, I don't know if they officially become the site yet.
Yeah.
But they are about to be, if they
Yeah.
haven't.
Dottie, how are we doing?
I found them, they are the minutes from the November 3rd, 2022 meeting, and that was the one concerning the Bridgewater Improvement Association with the lights on the common.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so, a motion to approve those minutes.
I move
Okay,
that we
well-
accept them.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes of November 3rd, 2022. Any, a second? Do we have
I'll second it.
second from Judith? Any discussion of the minutes? All in favor, a roll call vote, please.
Roll call, Marie Benoit,
Aye.
Nancy,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Judith,
Yes.
So the minutes of November 3rd stand approved. We've been here quite a while. Is there any other business we want to take up, or are we ready to adjourn? I appreciate everybody's patience in hearing the story of this stone vault chamber.
Everybody
you
should
have-
go look at it. It's really
Everybody
cool.
should go look at it. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is.
I'll tell you a quick little story. My great niece and 3 great nephews, their mom homeschools them, and they asked me to help teach them about genealogy and stuff. And one of the things the first thing I did was tell them that my father, who they never met, was an amateur archaeologist. And we went to the museum in Middleborough that
Yeah.
has artifacts and very knowledgeable people. And we all met there on a Saturday morning, and it was
Nice.
awesome.
Oh,
So I might take those kids to see this,
yeah.
to see this.
Nancy,
And then take a walk down the pathway to the bridge, which is off of Elm Street.
I haven't done that. I'm going to. We
that's
were
a-
very,
that's a
we're
long walk.
very,
Nancy,
one
that's
thing-
a long walk from there.
It's, no,
Do-
oh, no,
It
oh, no,
is.
no, no. You would drive down to Elm Street.
Dottie,
Oh,
where's the-
Thank
where
you,
is-
Marie. Go to-
Dottie, where was the museum in Middleborough you went to?
It is, there's a Tom Thumb Museum,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
across
Yeah.
the street is the the Historic Archaeological Museum is right across
Yeah.
the street,
Okay.
Jackson Street.
Good.
How
Yeah, they're
cool.
open Saturday mornings.
the first question that the Mass Historic Commission director asked me about the structure was, is the structure visible from a public way? And I had to think a minute, and I said, I think it is. And then I went out the next day, and it's only about, I don't know, 15 to 20 feet from the back of that parking lot. So it's
barely,
completely,
right.
completely visible from that little street. If it had been another 20 or 30 feet and out of sight, then it would not
Uh.
have qualified as an historic district. Because
Ah,
remember, we have jurisdiction in the Central Historic Bridgewater Historical District. We have jurisdiction over buildings that we can see. We do not have jurisdiction over backs of buildings that we cannot see from the road. Which is why some of the various buildings don't get any attention by the owners if they're on the back side. But we're fortunate that this structure is visible. Okay, any other business?
mm-mm.
Okay,
Nothing left on the agenda.
thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Is that one?
We've got a motion to adjourn without objection. Second.
Nancy,
Okay,
Nancy's
Yep.
holding up her 2 fingers.
Yes.
okay,
Roll call vote.
yeah, roll call vote.
Marie,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Judith.
Thank you, people. You're
Good,
wonderful.
good
Right
meeting.
on
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the comic guys, and I'm thrilled about the vault, the info about
That's
the
good.
vault.
What's that?
I said, good meeting.
We
The
did,
comic
had a good
guys were
meeting.
so nice and that was easily resolved and
Yeah,
I'm thrilled to start processing some kind of work on the vault, the chamber.
thank you for saving the day, Judith. Thanks for saving the day. Bye.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Everyone.
And
night.
Dottie, thanks a million.
No, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
Dottie.